Megan to reach the final score. 24-meter approach. Intense concentration. Yushchenko vault laid out. One step on landing, but that's a good start. In replay, round off onto the board, and there's the layout stretch salto, and just that one large step on landing. Handspring, piked front salt, that was a solid performance. Characteristics here in replay. Handspring, pushes from the horse, 1.5 somersault in the piked position. Solid vault indeed. But like all the Soviet gymnasts, extremely powerful. Using the Seiko vault. Oh, that's solid. Just that one small... Second vault now for Golub of the Soviet Union. Handspring, front salt. Oh, solid. That's what the judges are looking for. As we see here, the handspring with a 1.5 front somersault, and they may combine this type of vault with a backward approach. Excellent vault.
And Golub showing plenty of versatility in
this vault final from the very powerful approach to the horse. Handspring, pike front salt half twist. That's a different vault. Again, just that one step on second vault. Here in replay. Handspring, pike front somersault half turn. Plenty of distance in that pre-flight.
The landings on either vault, 9.762.
Starting her first vault is Isabella Lakatos of Romania. Yurchenko with a full twist, very strong.
Lakatos of Romania, previously placed in major international events on this apparatus. Oh, handspring front somersault, just light handspring. Yes, legs are apart a little bit. Look at that. Landing is a little bit under-rotated.
And following her...
Oh, great. Yushchenko full twist. That's a competent performance. Vault now for Catherine Everett. Must be a different vault. She's done a Sukahara in the laid-out position. Look for that error here, Peggy. There's the pre-flight of the vault. The post-flight must show substantial distance. Yes, it's far too short, far too close to the horse.
So a little short in the post.
From Romania, Lavinia Milovici for the first vault. And she comes to this apparatus ranking first. Tremendous pressure on her to perform. Round off, full twisting Yurchenko, superb.
Second vault now. Handspring, front salt half twist. Oh, super vault. In replay, look for this landing. There's the handspring, 1.5 front somersault with a half twist, and it's very solid indeed.
Top scored in the all-around and could be likewise here. With
Hughes of Australia, her first international final. And let's look at her first vault. A very confident run. Round off and a full twisting Yurchenko. Very strong run. Handspring, front somersault. Well landed. Legs slightly apart from the... There's the handspring onto the vault. Good tuck position. Strong landing. I don't think the judges will notice that, Peter.
On this 13-year-old, 9.737.
Laura, the national champion. Oh, and we can see why she is a national champion. The first vault in replay, there he is. Handspring, piked 1.5 somersault, and a very good landing. And now the second vault for Laura Timmins of Great Britain. One performance on a second. It could even place her in the medals here if she can. A very stable landing. Waiting for the judge's signal now. She's received layout Sukahara, but there is...
And we'll have a look at her vault and replay. There's the handspring backwards onto the vault, the back somersault in the layout position, slight form breaks, and certainly the step-on landing will be noticed.
So the Sukahara not quite performed as she would have liked. 9.53. And the Soviets have had a great battle throughout.
The uneven bars. Plenty of pressure on these girls tonight. They performed so creditably in the all-round. What can she do in finals here? She's done her first release, second release. Oh, she's caught it. Well done. Kylie's only got to finish her giant swings on the high bar. Here they go. Now fly away. Double fly away. Oh, that's a good performance by our first Australian here.
Good effort first up from Kylie Shadbolt, throwing down the challenge, 9.75.
And now, the next competitor on uneven bars, Shi Liying of China. The Chinese known for their excellence on this event. Watch the quality of their swing and their very high release movements. The girls are required to have at least one release, but at this level of competition, we see more than one. And look at that, that's an original movement. She's doing L-grip giants, taken from men's horizontal bar, straight into the Jaeger somersault. That'll receive bonus points from the judges. Just a slight overbalance there. Kachev, second, oh, she's fallen. Totally unexpected. Now, this is a great disappointment, as this girl has just shown a movement that's never been performed previously in the world, and yet she's fallen on her second release. No chance of a medal in finals. Double flyaway to finish.
And the look of disappointment, and I have to just echo that. I don't think I have seen such a high release on the first movement she did. It was absolutely magnificent.
We'll perhaps see this fall now. There's a Kachev. Oh, she had the bar. It's hard to say what caused that fall there from her second release, the Kachev straddle.
What a shame she came unstuck, a 9.325.
And now to bar Irina Golub of the Soviet Union. The Soviets also technically excellent on this event. First release, Jaeger somersault. Oh, beautiful handstand to the low bar. Pop that one right where it should go. Second release, Kachev, no problem for this young champion. Interesting dismount here, double front half twist. Oh, superb! That's a great routine. It's reflected in the expression on her face and the crowd response. Superb routine.
And interestingly, she doesn't wear any hand grips in her work.
That is fascinating, Peggy, and she must have very tough hands. And here's that Jaeger somersault. But look at that handstand to the low bar. She stopped right on top of the bar. But what's fascinating about this excellent routine is the novel dismount. Normally the girls do a backward somersault dismount, but here we see a double front somersault dismount.
And very difficult to execute and spot on landing.
And she's done just that.
Very precise and innovative. It had to score well, a 9.75.
Milicevic of Romania, now to perform in the uneven bars finals. Milicevic, the European junior champion. Shaposhnikova to the high bar. First release. That was a little low on the regrasp on the low bar. She's regained well. Second release, Kachev straddle. The coach is allowed to stand in as an added safety factor. Giant swing. Just dismount to go full in double back somersault. Extremely difficulty shown in the dismount. He's completed that routine well with just a couple of small blemishes throughout the routine.
European all-around champion.
There's that first release. Ginga somersault, just a little short on that half turn over the low bar. The gymnast required to move to the low bar twice during the routine. However, the routine must predominantly consist of swings. There are no stops allowed. There was a Kachev straddle release. Look for the dismount. Full twist into a double somersault.
And that effort puts Milicevic in front, 9.775.
And now a special performance on the uneven bars by Yang Bo of China. Yang Bo was in fact the gold medalist on this event in the inaugural Australian Grand Prix in 1989 and is a finalist at this event at World Championship level. Look for something special here. Reverse grip giant, half turn. Look at the height of that Jaeger somersault. Returns to the low bar. excellent rhythm in this routine, and that's an indication of the technical excellence of the Chinese gymnast. Full twisting giant, just fly away. Oh, one small hop, just one small movement on landing. But that's a very good penalty for such a world-class routine.
Currently all around third position in the China Cup competition in 1991.
And as we have a look at her again and these very difficult release movements, the Chinese not only technically perfect on this apparatus, they also carry that elegance and the exquisite pointed feet they all have in their work.
Just look for this landing fault. It's ever so small, but the judges won't miss it.
And more of...
The next competitor in the women's...
She's the last one. Mounting with a straddle over the low bar. Looking for the first release now. Kachev straddle, beautifully performed. Rhythm is good at this stage. Second release, no problems for the knee. That was a Ginga somersault, named after the famous East German world champion. Giant swing. Full twisting giant now, just double salto. Oh,
And it was a 9-8-7
on this first apparatus. Beautiful press to handstand, an immediate Healy twirl.
That's an original element, Peggy, and she'll receive bonus from the judges for that.
Very good to get some bonus points right at the beginning of your routine. See her concentrating to prepare for one of her acrobatic series. Oh, beautifully executed. Quick back to two back layouts. Lovely high leaps.
And that's a requirement on balance beam. The girls must show a series of gymnastic or leap movements.
And demonstrating the required pivot. We often take that pivot for granted, but it's just as difficult as many of the tumbling movements. Superb full twisting Corbett. And a very, very difficult leap, showing immediate flexibility and an interesting choreography of composition of linking movements. Looking backwards to the end of the beam, preparing for her dismount. Round off, double back somersault. Very strong step, and she has
full of difficulty, and yet it was graceful throughout. A 9-8-2-5 for Shi Liying.
Ludmila Sobtataya of the Soviet Union, watching the judges, waiting for the signal to begin her balance beam routine. She's currently ranking second, and obviously will be out to win a medal on this apparatus. Slight wobble on the beginning of her routine.
When you consider that a beam routine is really a floor exercise routine that combines gymnastic and acrobatic movements, that it's only 10 centimeters wide, it helps us understand how difficult it really is.
And another full twisting Corbett salto. It almost seems to be a compulsory element. Interesting choreography. Well controlled, good leap series, showing amplitude and very good confidence. She does an awful lot of work with her arms on this balance beam. Everything seems to be concentrated with the arm movements. Preparing for her dismount. Round off. Double back somersault with a full twist. Good routine from Sobtataya of the Soviet Union.
They're very businesslike on beam, Peggy, and as you indicated, there's plenty of movement, plenty of arm movement, and that's important. That keeps the attention of the judges on what they're doing. Here in replay, flick-flack, full twisting Corbett. That's a very difficult acrobatic series.
And to a very interesting piece of choreography.
And some fine original work in there for a 9.75 Stovtachaya.
Milosevic from Romania knows what to do on this apparatus. She was second in the balance beam at the Junior European Championships, and a very good start to her routine, a delayed somersault mount. This apparatus, because of the difficulty of working on it, demands tremendous time in the training sessions. In fact, a greater portion of time than any of the other women's apparatuses spent training on this event.
The girls are only required to show one acrobatic series, but at this level of competition we see more. There's a small wobble there at the end of that second somersault. Of course, in the finals we're seeing here tonight, if they show that additional difficult tumbling series, they receive some bonus from the judges.
Milosevic also showing the required difference in the tempo and rhythm. Round-off double-back somersault. It's a good routine from Milosevic of Romania. And as always, most gymnasts breathe a very big sigh of relief when they finish that event. Let's look at that mount.
We can see that was a round-off approach, and she did a back handspring up onto the beam, leading straight into her first acrobatic series, flick-flack, Corbett salto.
She has every reason to be delighted. A 9.75 and equal seconds.
Of Australia. Surely a crowd pleaser here, as she comes originally from Queensland, concentrating, very determined. Round off, back handspring onto the beam, well executed. Good start, gives the gymnast tremendous confidence.
Excellent leap series. Kylie always has sharp, expressive movements of her arms and head, and that only adds to the quality of the performance.
Very good tumbling series. Superb pivot, total control. Very confident on this apparatus. Demonstrating flexibility. So difficult to be in that position on the balance beam.
The assurance of this young lady is complete at this stage. That's a very novel connection for Kylie. Now she's only got dismount to go. One last passage down the beam. A stable landing, and she's in the medal. Round off. Double back, that's good. That's a good landing.
And Kylie knows
A 9.8.
with the face of a porcelain doll, Yang Bo of China, who surely sets the world standard on this apparatus. Difficulty, composition, everything that's required.
She was, in fact, the beam medalist on this event in the first Australian Grand Prix held here in Brisbane in 1989. The presence of this young lady is exceptional. knows no favours for anyone. There's a wobble, my goodness. That sort of error in the finals will certainly remove her from medal contention.
The height, the amplitude, and the expression of this gymnast is a textbook for every other gymnast. Look at that leap. Unfortunately, the overbalance is such a difficult movement, demonstrating her flexibility.
Full twisting Corbett salto, trademark of the Chinese. It's a credit to the young Chinese gymnast that she's working so well. She realizes she's had 2 wobbles at this stage. Dismount to come. Round off. Double back salto. Oh, solid. Very solid.
Full from Yangbo, a 9.77.
Shi Liying of Australia, the national champion, taking on the balance beam. Very difficult and courageous start. She'll be noticed by the judges for trying that. Monique's line on the balance beam is absolutely magnificent.
First acrobatic series, flick flack, lay out, step out, oh solid. Plenty of composure at this stage. Monique always looks so tall when she works on the beam, and that's a sign of her good dance preparation. Just a small deviation there with the arm. Flick flack, Corbett salto, she's regained well. The linking of the acrobatic movements with the gymnastic or dance movements is very important. They must be harmoniously linked. Beautiful side leap there. She's moving well.
And Monique preparing for her dismount. Most important to stay on the beam. Push off, double back salto, slide hop. But
Australian gymnastics.
And Kylie Shadbolt of Australia leads off on the floor final. Her favorite apparatus, and one that she does so supremely well.
Kylie's trademark in this event is that she gives everything to her work. Just watch this tumbling pass. Round off, flick flack, full twisting double salto, well landed.
And look at this expression, the feeling, and the presence of Kylie on floor. The height in her leaps.
The gymnast floor exercise has a duration of 1 minute 10 seconds to 1 minute 30. They're required to use the entire floor area. Second tumbling pass, double pike salto, that's solid again. The girls must show 3 acrobatic series. One of them must contain 2 somersaults. Kylie has done that in both tumbling passes.
Finishing every single movement in this floor routine.
Last tumbling pass, double back. Oh, it's solid too. This is a good routine.
Stunning routine from Kylie Shadbolt of Australia.
5.
Competing in her second final in international competition. Look at her determination. She knows what she has to do.
Joanna, the rising star of Australian women's gymnastics. She's competed in 1 final tonight, the vault. This is her second final.
and waiting those agonizing moments for your music to start.
First tumbling pass. Round off. Back handspring. Full twisting double salto. Oh, beautiful. Very clean landing. When you consider she's only 13 years of age, and yet she can perform that level of element.
And also the amplitude in her leaps.
Now, it's important for the girls to be very expressive with their movements, but not theatrical. Second tumbling pass, whip back solo, double back, oh, solid again. You don't get better landings than that from any gymnast. This routine lacks a little of the presence of a Kylie Shadbolt, but it certainly has excellent high tumbling.
She also works very well to her music. Very important to be in harmony with your music.
There's complete license for the gymnast to create movements that suit their music. The only special requirement for these routine are 3 tumbling passes, and here's the third one. Double salto. Oh, superb. Joanna Hughes of Australia.
Amazing.
First of 3 tumbling passes. Round off, flick flack. Full twisting double salto. That's solid. A very traditional choice of music.
Good leap series showing different movements with the legs, not just the traditional split leap.
At this stage, the interpretation of music is excellent. Second tumbling pass, whip, salto, double salto. Oh, there's a stumble forward. That's approximately a 2/10 deduction there. Choice of music is very important at this level of competition. The crowd getting involved. Last tumbling pass. Round off, flick flack, double salto, another good landing.
To traditional music, is it her tumbling and replay? There's the whip back, right up to the double back salto. Slightly low, and there's the step forward out of that salto.
And here's what she do here tonight.
A most unusual start to a floor routine. We've usually seen them start off standing up.
The endless possibilities in choreography are shown well here. Another good choice of music. First tumbling pass, whip salto, full twisting double salto. That's a stable landing.
Again, demonstrating the Romanian flair for choreography on the floor. Beautiful 1.5 twist to another 1.5 twist, and punch front, a most difficult tumbling pass.
Change in tempo here, that's important.
Again, the crowd on side with this routine.
As spectators, if we're enjoying this routine, chances are the judges are as well. This performance exemplifies why gymnastics is amongst one of the world's most beautiful but athletic sports. Last tumbling pass, round off, flick flack. Full twisting double solo, 2 full twisting double solos in this routine. First pass and last pass. What a performance. That's the performance to be here tonight. In replay now, some of these extreme tumbling passes. 1.5 to a step out. Again to a 1.5 twisting back somersault, immediate punch front. Plenty of content in that tumbling line.
And that marvellous display has overshadowed those before it.
The final competitor in the floor. She's very confident, and she knows that she can take a medal with a good routine.
Watch this first tumbling pass. Double layout, but she's out of the area.
What a disappointment. The only gymnast to perform that double layout in the girls' competition. And another gymnast who's chosen that crowd-pleasing traditional music. Very novel piece.
Excellent ground level movement here. There's obvious harmony between the movement and music. Pick up in tempo here for the tumbling pass. Round off. Whip back. Flick flack. Double pike soldo. Oh, solid landing. This is a great routine, but she's had one blemish at this stage. It's still possible she's in the medals. Everything depends on this last tumbling pass. Round off, flick flack. Full twisting double soldo. Oh, beautiful. Excellent landing.